This is a 2018 Ford Focus ST2, so it has the leather seats in it instead of the cloth ones. This is actually my second ST.
Okay.
So I had one before, I had a 2016 that I lost to a distracted driver, came to a stop, and a Dodge Ram hit me at 45 miles an hour.
Oh,
totaled the
you
car.
were okay.
Yeah, I was okay, he was okay. The people in front of me that I hit after getting pushed into them, they were okay. That was my first new car. I bought that brand new off the lot. After that was totaled and all the insurance went through, I picked this up.
Was your first one modded?
My first one was like bolt-ons, intercooler, intake, downpipe, that kind of stuff. I had no clue that I was going to go this far with this one. The first step on this one was get it right back to where the other one was. We kind of went from there. This is the second iteration of the engine and turbo. The first iteration was a 2867R 2-port aux fuel, and that made 400 horsepower. And then we moved on to this setup, which is a built motor with a G25 660 that makes right around 500 right now. The tune's not completely finished. The setup's good for 550, maybe 600. I chase power.
Okay.
It was bolt-ons and then getting up to that 400 horsepower mark. And then I went through and did suspension. I did BC Racing coilovers, and then I did aesthetic stuff. So I did the hood, the fenders, and the wrap. And after that, I actually blew my engine. I had a wastegate line rip and overboosted and melted cylinder number 4 and bent the rod, actually. It got a new motor, and whenever I did that, I kind of was tired of that setup and wanted some more power. So on the side, I built a spare engine, sent it off to the machine shop to get molly pistons, molly rods, cams, valve train work, everything. And then whenever the pandemic hit, I had 2 weeks off work, so I popped it all in there and started tuning with it.
The color scheme is quite unique. Homage to fighter jets.
Exactly. Any kind of old World War II fighter jet that had that kind of matte green look. You see that kind of yellow on like an accent color on some of those planes. Rally Innovation 3-piece front splitter and then the matching side skirts. The canards on the front bumper are Vega Motorworks. A Cybin carbon fiber hood. The fenders are Anderson composite.
Gotcha.
So those are full carbon. They're carbon underneath the wrap. It's a stock wing with wing risers from, can't remember now. Those have been on there forever.
So basically it just sets it off a little bit.
Yeah, they're just little
cool.
spacers. It spaces it up and then moves it back about half an inch.
Tell me about the wheels and the tires.
I actually picked these wheels up for my old car. They're 1552 Turbo Max, 18 by 9.5 with a 38 millimeter offset, I think they are. And Bridgestone Potenza RE71Rs. I actually picked these up just recently off of a tire shop when I was getting my winter tires put on. I got them for a steal. Lightly used, I paid the same amount for all 4 that you'd pay for one new tire.
So with that offset, do you have spacers on there too, or did you get flush with just the offset?
That's flush with just the offset.
Wow.
With the stock wheels, I actually have to run like a 15 mil spacer to clear the Brembos.
And that's obviously an upgrade you did as well.
Yeah, those are RS brakes on the front. The rears are stock for now. I have a plan to go with like a hybrid kind of setup that uses Mazda calipers and the mounting brackets, and then they use like all Mazda brakes. So they're slightly bigger, the rotor itself, but the pads and caliper are about the same size.
Is that like a common Focus thing?
I wouldn't say common. The RS brakes are definitely a common upgrade. People
Yeah.
would usually just swap those over and they're done with it.
So what's the deal with doing the Mazda then? Is there a lack of aftermarket for that?
No, you can get aftermarket stuff. They're just more expensive.
So you basically built everything from scratch?
Pretty much, yeah. I picked up a used motor from a Fusion because they had the same exact block and head. Sent it off to the machine shop, had them deck it and hone it. It's still a 2.0. Some people go with the stroke or the 2.3, but I just left it the 2.0. Did ARP studs on both the head and the main studs, Malley pistons and Malley rods, passenger side engine mount and rear motor mount. There's one more that I haven't done yet, but I don't really feel the need for it. There's a trans mount that also can be replaced. It's pretty solid with these two. It actually, if you have any kind of soda or any drink in the center console, it will vibrate and it looks like Jurassic Park, like little like water droplets coming up. So that's a stock intake, but I have in between the intake and the engine is a stratified aux fuel rail. This is a direct injection car, so all the injectors are up underneath the manifold, but I've added 4 more injectors. Those are Deechworks 1050 cc injectors.
And how's it tuned?
I'm not going to say who's tuning it, but they've been kind of slow. I'm still at the 500 horsepower level at like 26 pounds of boost. I'm hoping to see 550, 600 at 30 plus because everything is set up to be able to do it.
From the block back, take me through the exhaust.
This is a head-of-fold setup. There's no exhaust header. It's just the turbos bolted right to the head. From there, I have my tile wastegate with a dump tube. That is just a dump to atmosphere. It just dumps right below the engine. I have a Depot 3-inch straight through downpipe. I have the AWE Track Edition exhaust from there back. 3-inch from the turbo the whole way to the tips. The weakness on these cars is LSPI, or low speed preignition. These motors, if you boost below like 2,500 RPM, you're gonna blow it up. The bigger turbo actually helps with that since it spools later. It doesn't make power till after you're out of that danger zone. Other than that, this is a front wheel drive car. It struggles to put down even the amount of power that I have through it right now. The only thing I've done to the interior so far is the shift knob. It's from Ford. It comes with the higher package ST. It's a carbon fiber shift knob. And then I guess the shifter's technically interior too. That has a Ford performance shifter in it.
Really nice set of seats come in this car.
Oh, I love the Recaras.
Yeah.
That's my old car was the ST1, so it had just the basic cloth seats, and these are so much better. Some people don't like these seats. Some of the bigger guys don't fit in them. That's the issue. Yeah, because even skinny people like us sitting in there, it's a good hug that it gives you.
Car gives you a hug.
Yeah,
Isn't that
exactly.
nice? Is this a keeper? You've already had it 4 years. I'm thinking
Yeah.
it's probably not going to go anywhere. Is it one of those things that you keep long enough that it loses value and then starts gaining it back?
It might be. I don't plan on getting rid of this car. I have so much into it, and I know that if I do sell this car, I'm not going to get even half of it out. So yeah, this is a forever car as long as it runs and drives and has a frame, really.
Yeah.
Because I do drive this in the winter. I put the stock tires back or stock wheels back on with some winter tires and drive back and forth to work, and it does perfectly fine.
Do you follow the same migration path?
It seems like it's all the same path. Everybody does the Rally Armor mud flaps, which I actually just took mine off recently. I had them. Everybody does it. Everybody pretty much goes full bolt-on with a intercooler intake and a downpipe. That's where most people stop. With full bolt-ons, they're just under 300 horsepower and around like 350, 360 foot-pounds of torque. It definitely makes it a fun car to drive.
What's it weigh?
The base model without sunroof or anything like that, it's like 3,200 pounds.
How's it ride? Like, do you take it on many trips or anything like that?
Yeah, every year we got to Carlisle for the Ford Nationals. That's actually the stickers up there. About a 3.5 hour drive on the turnpike. It rides pretty good with the BCs. It's a little bit stiff. It functions just like a stock car. Like I turn the AC on and radio up and cruise on out. I'll tell you one of my favorite things about the car. This car gets a lot of attention. The matte green, the bright yellow and everything. The one group that it gets a lot of attention from is kids.
Yeah.
And I love that, seeing little kids light up and say nice car or scream to rev it. I'm just hoping that maybe I'm influencing the next generation of car enthusiasts.